Big changes could be brewing at Ibrox, and if the signs are anything to go by, we might be looking at a summer of serious transition for Rangers. One name now firmly under the microscope is that of Ross McCausland, a lad who not too long ago was being talked about as one for the future, maybe even the next breakout star in a Rangers jersey. But football moves quickly, and at just 21 years of age, McCausland now finds himself fighting for relevance in a squad that's being reshaped under new leadership. The winger came into the side with a fair bit of expectation, especially after contributing 5 goals and 6 assists across competitions last season. That kind of output, particularly for a young player, usually buys time and patience. But in the pressure cooker of Ibrox, those luxuries can vanish in a flash. This season has been a different story entirely. He's managed just 4 starts in the Scottish Premiership and has struggled to make any sort of consistent impact, often finding himself watching from the sidelines as others stake their claims. When Barry Ferguson stepped in as interim manager, there was hope that the change might offer McCausland a fresh start. After all, a new gaffer often means new chances. But things haven't quite gone that way. In Ferguson's opening matches at the helm, McCausland was an unused sub in 3 fixtures, and when he did get on the park, it was only for fleeting cameos, a few minutes here and there against Kilmarnock and Athletic Bilbao. These weren't the kind of opportunities that suggest a player is central to the manager's plans. Still, all wasn't lost. Then came the clash against Aberdeen on the 13th of April, a match that could have marked a turning point for him. With Rangers preparing for a crucial second leg in the Europa League, this was a chance to lay down a marker to show that he was ready to fight for his place. But instead, what unfolded may have sealed his fate. McCausland received a red card before halftime, shown the door after 2 reckless tackles that left his teammates in a lurch. Down to 10 men and facing a fired-up Aberdeen Rangers were up against it. Leighton Clarkson and Pepe Habibi Guai didn't waste time capitalizing, putting the hosts 2 up before Rangers managed to claw their way back into the match. Credit where it's due. The team showed guts to rescue a draw thanks to goals from Hamza Yerman, who's reportedly on the radar of Everton, and Romanian midfielder Yanis Hagi. But while others were stepping up, the shadow of McCausland's dismissal loomed large. It wasn't just a numerical disadvantage that stung. It was the feeling of letdown, of a player squandering his opportunity in a game that really mattered. Former Hibs striker Tam McManus didn't hold back when asked about the young winger's future. He was blunt, questioning whether McCausland had what it takes to wear the Rangers badge. According to McManus, the lad's simply not good enough, and worse, he let the team down when they needed him most. Harsh words, but ones that likely echo some of the internal conversations happening at the club. And the reality is time might not be on McCausland's side. Barry Ferguson is expected to start stamping his identity on the squad, and with competition for spots fierce, it's hard to see where the winger fits in unless something changes drastically and quickly. The summer transfer window is fast approaching, and unless McCausland can flip the narrative on its head in the next few weeks, a move away from Ibrox could well be on the cards. While McCausland's story takes a tough turn, the bigger picture at Rangers includes far more optimistic headlines, especially when it comes to European exploits. Despite the inconsistencies domestically, Rangers have managed to deliver when it matters most in continental competitions. They're into the quarterfinals of the Europa League, set to face Athletic Bilbao in the second leg of what's shaping up to be a thrilling tie. The first leg at Ibrox ended 0-0, but what made the draw all the more impressive was that Rangers played much of the game with 10 men after an early red card to Robin Proper. Gutsy stuff from the Light Blues, and it sets the stage for a massive night in the Basque Country. Barry Ferguson and his players know what's at stake. Not just pride or prestige, we're talking serious money. Rangers have already earned around £13 million from their Europa League journey so far. But should they go all the way, lifting the trophy could see the club banking as much as €70 million when all is said and done. That includes prize money for each round, UEFA's value payments, Champions League qualification, and even a spot in the Super Cup. It's staggering, really, and it shows just how high the stakes are on Thursday night in Spain. A place in the semi-final alone would be worth over €4 million, with the final carrying a €7 million reward. Win the entire competition, and you add another €6 million to the pot. And that's before you even factor in ticket sales and the massive commercial bump that comes with continental glory. It's a reminder of what's possible when Rangers bring their best to the European stage, and why the fans continue to dream of another unforgettable run. Someone who believes they can do it is club legend Ali McCausland. He's been vocal in backing the team, suggesting that despite the uphill task against a talented athletic side, Rangers have shown time and again that they can rise to the occasion. McCausland pointed out how resilient the team have been on their travels in Europe, and noted that even before the red card last week, a draw would have been seen as a solid result. It's clear he still sees that old magic, that ability to produce something special when the odds are stacked against them. There's no denying Bilbao are favorites. They've got the talent, the crowd behind them, and the confidence that comes from a strong domestic campaign. But Rangers, they've got history, they've got belief, and they've got the memory of Seville fresh in their minds. They know how to navigate these nights, how to dig and frustrate their opponents, and find that one moment that can turn a tie on its head. And that's what makes Thursday night so tantalizing. This isn't just another match. It's a chance for Rangers to prove they belong on the big stage. Not just as participants, but as contenders. It's a chance for Barry Ferguson to carve out his own legacy, to guide the club into the semi-finals of one of the biggest competitions in Europe. And for the players, it's a shot at immortality. Because when you wear that shirt in a European quarterfinal, you're not just playing for yourself or your teammates. You're carrying the hopes of generations, the weight of history, and the roar of thousands behind you. One night in Spain could change everything. The pressure now shifts to the Basque Country, where the floodlights of San Mamés will burn bright and the atmosphere will be electric. For Rangers, this is where heroes are made or forgotten, where legacy is carved not by statistics or league standings, but by moments. Split seconds of brilliance or bravery that live long in the memory. Barry Ferguson knows this better than most. He's been there, worn the jersey, and carried the expectations of a support that demands passion fight, and when possible, a touch of glory. Now as manager, he'll be the one urging his side to stand tall in enemy territory, to believe in the shirt and each other, and to chase the dream that's still alive. The dream of European silverware. In matches like these, it's not always the stars who shine. Sometimes it's the unlikely ones that overlook the players with a point to prove. There are questions over selection, of course. Will Ferguson go bold and attack, or will he stick to a compact, disciplined shape and try to hit Bilbao on the counter? The injury list will play a part, as will the fatigue from a grueling domestic schedule. But at the heart of it, Rangers must bring the fight. They'll need the experience of James Tavernier, whose leadership in Europe has often been a beacon. They'll need the physical presence of John Souttar and the composure of Jack Butland between the sticks. Midfield will be a war zone, and this is where someone like Nico Raskin or Tom Lawrence must take hold of the game, slow it down when needed, speed it up when the gaps appear. And then there's Hamza Yurman, the name on every scout's notepad. These days, the lad's been in electric form, and his goal against Aberdeen showed both instinct and coolness under pressure. He's not just a promising talent anymore, he's becoming a key figure in this Rangers side. If the Light Blues are to shock Bilbao on their own turf, you bet on Yerman being involved in some capacity. Ioannis Hagi too has shown flashes of his old self, and there's hope he's peaking at just the right time. Ferguson might yet need a moment of magic from him. The noise will be deafening. San Mamés is one of those grounds that feels alive, where every tackle and pass is met with thunderous reaction. But Rangers have faced that before. They've gone to Dortmund, Leipzig, and even Seville. They've stared down hostility and emerged with pride, and they'll need every ounce of that mental steel again. Ferguson will be drumming that message into his players: ignore the crowd, trust your teammates, stick to the plan. And when the moment comes, don't hesitate. Hit with purpose. Defend like your life depends on it. For the supporters, it's another European chapter to cling to. Whatever happens on the pitch, they'll travel in numbers, belt out the songs, and believe, because that's what Rangers fans do. They dream. They've seen their club rise from the ashes, fight its way back, and now compete once again with Europe's elite. And for all the talk of finances, prestige, and qualification, what really matters on nights like this is pride. Pride in the jersey. Pride in the badge, and pride in showing that Rangers Football Club belongs on this stage. Elsewhere, there's been plenty of chatter around Alfredo Morelos. Not for the first time, and maybe not for the last. This time, though, it's not about goals or transfer rumors. The former Rangers striker found himself in hot water again. This time in Colombia, after an incident during a match with Millonarios. Subbed off in the second half, Morelos apparently invited opposition fans to a fight from the dugout, an incident caught on camera and now being reviewed by the Colombian FA. The reaction's been swift and scathing. Colombian legend Faustino Asprilla didn't hold back in his role as a pundit, slamming Morelos' behavior and suggesting he's become unbearable. It's another chapter in a career that's often been as much about controversy as it has been about quality. During his time at Rangers, Morelos was a talisman, loved for his aggression, his knack for scoring in big games, and his refusal to back down. But he also courted chaos with red card suspensions and off-field drama never far behind. His departure from Ibrox felt like the closing of a messy but memorable book one where both club and player needed a fresh page. And now, watching from afar, it's clear that some things haven't changed. For all his raw talent, Morelos remains a volatile figure, one who walks a fine line between passion and self-destruction. Back in Glasgow, focus remains on the present. McCausland's future may be uncertain. Morelos may be causing headlines abroad, but the spotlight is firmly on Thursday night. That's where it all comes to a head. The blood, sweat, and tears of a long campaign culminating in 90 minutes or more that could define the season. If Rangers manage to find a way past Bilbao, if they book their spot in the Europa League semi-finals, the narrative changes completely. It becomes not just about potential or rebuilding. It becomes about belief, momentum, and a genuine shot at silverware. And that's the kind of energy this club thrives on. When the odds are stacked, when backs are to the wall, Rangers have often found a way. It won't be easy, it might even be brutal, but it's there for them. Another chance to make history. All that's left now is for the players to step up, to give everything, and to show the footballing world what it means to wear the blue of Rangers on a European night. Whatever happens, it'll be a night to remember. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. It's the kind of rumor that sets Scottish pubs alight and fans fuming. And if it turns out to be true, Unai Simone might just have picked the wrong fight. Whispers have emerged from within Spanish football circles suggesting that the Athletic, Bilbao and Spain goalkeeper made some less than flattering comments about Rangers Football Club. According to the alleged source, Simone not only dismissed the Glasgow Giants, but went as far as saying Rangers have no tradition whatsoever. For a club with over 150 years of history, that's a line that could ignite a firestorm, and it already has. No official statement has come from Simone or his representatives, but that hasn't stopped the rumor mill from spiraling. The alleged comments reportedly came during a private conversation in a Spain camp shortly after Euro 2024, where Simone had just helped his nation lift the trophy. The story goes that while discussing the intensity of club fan bases and rivalries in Europe, Simone laughed off the idea of playing in Scotland, suggesting that even mid-table La Liga sides had more footballing heritage than Rangers. The remark, if true, wasn't just dismissive. It struck at the very identity of one of the most storied clubs in world football. Fans of Rangers, understandably, are not taking this lightly. Social media erupted overnight, with some calling for an apology and others urging the club to respond with pride rather than anger. A man who's never played outside of Spain shouldn't be talking about traditions he clearly doesn't understand, one supporter posted. Another wrote, "Let him walk out at Ibrox on a European night and say that again." Even former players have weighed in, with a few Scottish pundits reminding the Spaniard that Rangers have reached 5 European finals, winning one, and continue to carry the torch of Scottish football in UEFA competitions year after year. Whether the quote was taken out of context, exaggerated, or simply fabricated remains to be seen. Simone is known for his calm demeanor on the pitch, rarely making headlines for controversy off it. Yet this rumor, even without hard proof, has stuck. Perhaps because it pokes at something deeper. The question of how Spanish players view Scottish football is one that's lingered in the background for years, with many continental stars underestimating the passion, legacy, and level of competition north of the border. For Rangers fans, this rumor isn't just about one man's comment, it's about respect. As for Simone, if he ever does step onto Scottish soil, particularly at Ibrox, he might feel the full weight of those non-traditional fans. Until then, the debate rages on. Was this a disrespectful jab from a player riding high after international success, or just another case of lost in translation mischief? One thing's for sure, if this story had flown under the radar in Spain, it's loud and clear now in Scotland. And the Rangers faithful never forget. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.